Because I want to know, when was the last time that God spoke to anybody? And if the last time that God spoke to somebody was 4,000 years ago, then I don't know what to say to you, because it's either he been asleep. When you look at the book of Amos, he said that I would do nothing, but I would reveal my secrets to
my servant. They would write articles about us, even though Cushi is not translated to nigger. That's the term that they would refer to.
You didn't know how to establish community. You didn't know what. Trial and error. We made a lot of mistakes. It is 50-50. Either you're going to succeed or you're not. If you don't do nothing, then you're 100% guaranteed to fall.
And so whenever they would write an article in the newspaper, they would say, Hakushi my Ephraim. Ephraim is Israelites or Hebrews.
So Cushi, dang, they gave you black Israelites over there.
My leader, Ben Ami, he was asked one day in the interview, so are you saying that everybody who was taken into America were enslaved are Israelites? He said no. He said, so how will you be able to identify? Just like with Yeshua, he said that my sheep shall know my voice.
So knowing that it's 200 ethnic groups.
Yes.
How and this for the people, how can you say that you're Israel? You got 200 to choose from. How you know they just got Israelites?
So my leader, Ben Ami, he was asked one day in the interview, so are you saying that everybody who was taken into America were enslaved are Israelites? He said no. He said, so how will you be able to identify? Just like you asking me right now, how would you be able to know who is who? So he said that just like with Yeshua, he said that my sheep shall know my voice, right? And so when you put the call out there, the ones who respond to the call, there they are, right there.
I got to break that down for anybody who understand this. I saw it on YouTube. It was two herdsmen. They had came into town. I mean, it was about 200 sheep from two herdsmen that came to town to get something. And then all of a sudden, the herdsman walked out of the town and he did this call and only his sheep left. So I definitely get that. And please Google it. You will see what I'm talking about. That herdsman had a sound that only his sheep is like, and it took off.
That's right.
That's deep.
It's real. It's real. So, we don't have to be going door to door and looking at people's, we gonna know who you are.
Right.
Because when we put out the call, for example, you got children?
Yeah. No kids.
Okay. But you married?
Yes.
Okay.
I got nieces and nephews.
You got nieces and nephews?
You got that right.
Okay, bet. Your nieces and nephews know your voice.
They knew.
Okay.
They know them else.
So
Uncle Vic, let's go.
Right. So if I come in the room, and they say, who is it? And I say, Uncle Vic. They'll be like, no, that's not Uncle Vic. No, that's not Uncle Vic.
Right.
They can't see you.
Right.
But you say it again, no, it is Uncle Vic. No. You're not Uncle Vic.
Right.
But when they hear Uncle Vic's voice,
yes,
they know it's Uncle Vic.
Yes.
When our people hear the voice of those who are looking to raise them once again, because that's what happened also in the Valley of the Dry Bones, right?
Yes.
When it was told to Ezekiel to prophesy to the bones.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And once he started to prophesy, then they started moving.
Right.
They were getting to move, but they weren't going to start moving to the tune of something that's foreign to them.
Right.
They were going to move based on something that kind of have muscle memory in their minds, and they were just waiting to hear that voice so that they can be able to get on the move. And so this is how our people identify, or we could identify our people. Put the call out there.
Isn't that significant to the season? The moral blowing of the trumpets?
That's right. Blowing of the trumpet. It's that sound, right, that we're putting out there that people are going to gravitate to. The right people are going to gravitate to. Right. And it always says there's going to be a feeble remnant of people.
True.
So you're not looking for like 100 million people to pop up out of nowhere or whatever. That ain't going to happen like that.
Right.
But you're looking for those small numbers because you remember when Gideon was going to go out and fight, and God said, I need you to take him down to the well. And let me see who gonna bend over, because I need to know that I got a good, strong 300. I don't need everybody to get the job done. You know what I mean? I need a small remnant that's gonna do what we say do, right? And it's going to operate in accordance with what the mission is and get it done.
Right.
As opposed to 1,000 people
trying to build their own congregation,
people running into each other, people talking crazy to each other, everybody trying to be the man, everybody. Because at the end of the day, the congregations themselves, and this is what caused the destruction of the temples.
Right.
When all of those people were all of that infighting, with the Israelite tribes and the people who had broken off from the tribes, and now we established the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the Essenes and all of these people, they infighting, and then one is like, okay, you know what? Whatever. We're going to call in the man. That's who brought those Romans in there to destroy the temple. It wasn't, the Romans didn't just pop up and like, okay, we're here. There was some folks that were like, man, you know what? I'm not with Vic's piece. I'm not with Jehoiakim's piece. I'm with this here. Okay? And in order for me to be propped up properly, I'm gonna need some backing from the man.
Call Popo.
Right. So let me get the man in here. Right. So the man can be able to now allow me to be propped up. And I don't have all of these people who disagree with whatever it is that I'm trying to do, we're gonna suppress them by getting the money from these men, by building these institutions with the help of by being able to say what it is that I need to say and not being suppressed, right? But now everybody else, you can't get a platform, you can't get no money,
gatekeepers.
You can't get no nothing, you know what I mean? And so in that case, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be destroyed because I don't have the means to be able to do what it is that I need to do, right? Because this group is being backed by the enemy of us all, but they'll be willing to align with the enemy of us all just for the purpose of being propped up. That's how you destroy something internally. And so that's what is going on. People who are willing to fight internally, and it's not even about the doctrine so much. It's more so about who is going to dominate the narrative. Yeah. Who's going to be the ones that everybody look to, not for the purpose of the deliverance, or for the purpose of just having a big congregation, a big church, a lot of people, but the people are not delivered, the people are not saved, the people are not, okay, so they came into the knowledge of self, they know who they are, they know, but if their condition hasn't changed, then what good is it? What good is it? So we, coming from Dimona, all we say is that, look, we don't want to argue with nobody. Let's come together, let's do what we got to do. Why? Because we have 50 plus years of experience in doing something outside of the confines of what the world has determined that is possible. In us taking back our own destiny into our own hands and actually living according to what we believe the book to be. Our idea is to become the book. I don't have to refer all the time to things from 2,000, 3,000 years ago, even if it is supposed to be something that's taking place in this time. Because I want to know, when was the last time that God spoke to anybody? And if the last time that God spoke to somebody was 4,000 years ago, then I don't know what to say to you, because it's either he been asleep or something. But 4,000 years ago, and we ain't got nothing. I don't have nothing else to refer to when I'm talking about our identity. No, it has to be when you look at the book of Amos, he said that I would do nothing, but I would reveal my secrets to my servants, the prophets. And so, before anything happened, somebody got to know something. God been speaking to our people. The way that we managed to get to Israel is no less than a miracle.
True.
So you got to know that God was operating on our behalf for a purpose, right? To be the vanguard. And we're not bragging about that, but we are saying that we took on a mantle to do what nobody else would dare to do.
True.
And we had to, we had to bear the brunt of it, right? People were struggling in Liberia. Like, let's be real about it. It was hard. You know what I mean? Coming into Israel, coming to a new place that you have, no idea about. You just knew you wanted to go home, but you had no idea about it. You didn't know how to establish community. You didn't know what. Trial and error. We made a lot of mistakes and we did a lot of good things. But if you don't do nothing, then you're 100% guaranteed to fall. And fail. And we took the 50-50 chance. We going 50, it's 50-50. Either you're going to succeed or you not.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Right? But give me that 50 chance to try it out.
I think it was 90-10.
Well, I mean, how much it was.
There's a lot of people back home like, they'll be back by Christmas.
Exactly. It was 90-10 then. We took the 90-10 and said, okay, you know what? I'll take that 10% chance. I'll take the and if it don't go right, you know, but how will we know? Somebody asked, how would you know that this is God directing your path? They had asked my leader, Ben Ami, and he said that we would only know by the results.
Wow, that's facts.
I can't tell you right now.
That's facts.
That's humility.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I don't have it for you right now. I got a seed. And I was promised that this seed is supposed to, once I go through whatever the processes are, is going to develop an incredible tree for me.
Right.
Now somebody is asking me, bro, this little bitty seed, you talking about is about to have this huge tree with all these fruits on it and all, and then they're going to produce more seeds. Prove it.
Right. You got to wait.
I can't prove it right now.
You're right.
I just can't. Now I'm gonna go through the process. I'm gonna do what I expect is necessary to do to be able to bring those results. But you got to wait. And then you see, okay, 10 years went by. You're like, where's the tree, Doc? It's going to take a little more time.
Well, I'm going to say it for you. You have, the Most High have proven that he wants us there because you're there.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to say, because I know a lot of people saying, why y'all there? Why'd y'all go? But we need to see it because it's a testimony to me.
That's right.
It's a testimony to me. And seeing it now, it's easier for me to say X, Y, Z, but seeing it from the perspective of your was it great grandmama?
Who?
Who went there? Was it?
My mother. My mother.
Okay, your mother.
My mother, my father.
Okay, your mother and your father.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So seeing it from their perspective is different because you don't know nothing. Right. You just led by the Spirit to go.
They didn't know the language.
Yes.
Right. They'd never been.
Now, in saying that, do they speak Hebrew now?
Yeah, most of them speak. If they don't speak, they understand it fully.
Okay.
But most of them speak Hebrew.
Okay, cool. Because you got people who like English, but that's dope because like I said, I take it from the perspective of you guys are very humble coming from the land. And you got people sitting on street corners that like they done been in the land. That's how they come. They come very authoritative, like, hey, this is what it is, and this is what it got to be. Now, I am going to ask some questions pertaining to your spirit and your faith. And it's going to be biblical. So I really want to see what you guys had to say because there's a lot of things surrounding biblical things. And we know that just like the church got different denominations, you got Christians and you got camps now, those who know they're Israel. So it's very important that I ask you some questions pertaining to that and see where, what your beliefs.
Yes, sir.
So creation story.
Yes, sir.
Now, believe it or not, did you know that camps got different creation stories?
I didn't know.
Okay. Okay. Well, dog. All right. So some camps believe that the creation story, when it comes to the tree of good and evil, don't eat up the tree. Some people believe that don't be around people who led you astray. That they believe that there were other nations of people, and the nation of people were the bad fruit, and they was, led astray that way. You got another group of people who believe that let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe in one Adam? That's it. It was one, and then everything came out of him. Not multiple people at the same time, and it was one Adam which was set apart.
So, and you're gonna hear me referring to the teachings of my leader Ben Ami all the time because that's the foundation of what it is that I'm speaking from. And so, when we look at the story of the creation of Adam and Eve, right? We're not talking about a person. We're talking about a society, a civilization.
Okay.
Right? Because then when you read further into it, it says, male and female created he them.
Okay.
And then called their name Adam. So we're referring to a civilization. We're referring to people, right, who had, just like Abraham did, right, would accept it to go in a different way.
Okay.
In the times that everything around was chaos and confusion. Because that's how the Bible starts. In the beginning, it was darkness, right? And it covered the earth. And then you had chaos and confusion and such and such and such. And then God said, let there be light. And there was light. It wasn't that it was just dark and he snapped his finger and said something. But it was the creative energy through speaking things into motion that caused, a lot of those elements that were, because the energies, they're dormant until they get active.
Right.
So they move over from the dormant into the kinetic.
Okay.
And so once they become active, things that are in motion stay in motion. And so when God said, "Let there be light," and there was light, that divine intellect then that was pushed or into the universe that caused things to now become a bit clearer. And then he breathed into the nostrils of Adam and Eve the breath of life, and then they became living beings, right? But they became living beings not because they weren't alive. They became living beings because they now had another level of intellect and doctrine that caused them to be set aside from the people who were surrounding them. And it was the same thing when he said that if you eat from this tree, or if you touch, or he didn't say if you touch it, but if you eat from this tree, then you should surely die.
Right.
Not that you're going to fall over dead, right? But you'll be in a state of decay at that point. From that moment on, right? You'll be in a state of fall that you would no longer be, in the level, in the frequency, in the consciousness that you should be in, because you've fallen away from that creative intellect, that creative energy that have given us everything in accordance with how we were made. That'll be kind of the blueprint of how we should remain. So absolutely, in the beginning, there was Adam and Eve, a civilization, a society. Because, basic biology says that in order to create a child, you need sperm and you need an egg.
Right.
So somebody's going to have to explain to me then, if you don't need the sperm in order to create a child, how can the woman be able to conceive? Or if you don't need the egg in order to create a child, how could there be a child? These things would have, in the infinite wisdom of God, everything that science is talking about now, this is the intellect of God that's in play. They are just coming into the knowledge of these things. Just like we said that, that Columbus, he discovered America. No, it was already here.
Right. True.
Before he came here. So, the creative energies and all the things that are in the universe, they were already here before people started sitting down and trying to study them, right? They didn't need to study people. People need to study them to be able to get a greater understanding, because we fell away from that knowledge. Because in the book of Daniel, you remember where it says that Daniel was 10 times more intelligent than all the other people around. Now, today they say that we use only up to the capacity of 10% of our brain.
10%.
Now, 10% of our brain times 10, that means that you operating on 100% frequency. So he was operating on 100% frequency. We are not. So
I can look at TikTok, tell you we're not walking with 10.
So it makes sense then that we would not be in the knowledge of these things, because we're not in our element. It's some leveling up consciously that we have to do. So yes, absolutely.
So let me break that down. So you're saying that Most High created just like the birds,
yes, sir,
out of each of their kind.
Yes, sir.
And that therefore he set up the nations.
Yes, sir.
Then he set apart, just like we saying Israel was set apart, just like Abraham was set apart, a nation of people. They fell away. And from that, death came. So are we saying due to the fact that knowledge was given to the set apart ones, that death came at that point, and then death put upon all mankind?
So,
because it was like at least at this point, we believe that Yahushua or the Messiah, he is the gift for the other Adam. Because remember, it's a singular Adam. So when they say Adam and Yahushua, how is that possible if it's not a single man? If the man in the beginning fell, then the deliverer is a man, which is the Messiah, who gives the life. See how to connect? One is a nation and one is an individual.
I see. So this is exactly why it's important to be able to understand the scriptures, right, in the Hebrew language. Because once you have the scriptures transliterated, right, they weren't even translated; they were transliterated. That means that they were given different names with different meanings.
Gotcha.
So just like Yeshua's name went from Yeshua to Jesus to Esau to Jesus, the meaning of it changed also as you go along. So when you transliterate the Bible, you have people who are translating these things, quote unquote, without even having a fundamental knowledge of the original language. So by the time it get down to, so you had the Septuagint, and then you had, the Latin Bible, and by the time it get down to the English, King James, besides the fact that it's stripped from all of its fundamental context, people have inserted things based on their understanding. I could tell you something right now as an example. I can give you a word.
Okay.
Right? I'll give you one word. Eretz. Right? Eretz. Eretz. It means land.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Or you could say Aretz. That means the land.
Okay.
Right? Or Haaretz. How would somebody know when you're looking at, because they spelled the same, the exact same way. How do you know what that is actually referring to? Exactly. Are you referring to a land, or are you saying the land? How would you know what that actually means if you didn't know the Hebrew language? Because you would have to read what it says before, you would have to read what it says after,
right.
and then you'd be able to understand the proper context of it.
Right.
But if looking at somebody reading something without understanding the language, without understanding the context, you'd be all off.
Right.
So you would misinterpret something, right? Because you thought that it was referring to one thing,
right,
but it was actually referring to something else.
Yeah.
Now, whoever reads whatever it is that you interpreted, now their interpretation is going to be based on your false narrative.
Right.
And then whoever comes after that is going to be based on. So now you got 3 generations of false information.
True.
And it's so far away from, you remember that game when everybody standing in line, I tell you something, and by the time you get down to the last person, it's something totally different. That's how these things operate. That's how these things work. So most people are interpreting things based on information that has been mistranslated. So again, we're talking about a people. We're talking about a civilization. We're talking about, a group. No, not one. We're talking about a group. Okay. But when we say one, Yah is one, God is one, we're talking about the fact that everything is operating as a unit. The body is one, but inside of the body, you have
many units.
Okay, yeah. And every unit has to do its job so that the unit could be able to operate properly. But can nobody tell you that the heart is the body?
True.
Or the organs are the body? True. Or the skin is the body? Or the brain is the body? All of those together are the body.
So what I hear you say is this: in 1719 or 1619, my nigga means something different than 2019. So you sure? My nigga does mean something different. It's still saying my possession.
Absolutely.
Dang. I thought I was going somewhere.
Absolutely.
So my nigga still means possession.
That's right.
Nigga.
That's right. That's right.
You.
That's right.
I feel you. Can't change it.
No, some things can't change. Some things are in the universe, and again, when you start from a specific premise and you move forward, you would have to go back and look at the origins of it. And now I understand what you're talking about when you say like, yeah, but it don't mean something. Yeah, let's go back to the original. I don't care what you determine something to mean today. Let's go back to its original meaning, and then work our way forward.
True.
And
it was the same thing that we did with Palestine when we went back to the origins of, because we had to get to how did they get Palestinians in Palestine. So it's the same thing with I don't even like to say
my nigga. Oh,
but I'm
you just
saying
said it though. But go ahead.
Got you.
So the thing is, I mean, I get redefining it because, like, well, we went through it, we might as well redefine it.
Right.
But you didn't define it from the beginning. So yeah, you could redefine it and it's very creative, but people outside won't get the same content. And they did that to us in Israel. They, whenever they would write articles about us, even though Cushi is not translated to nigger, it's actually, tribe, the people. But that's the term that they would refer to. Right. And so whenever they would write an article in the newspaper, they would say Hakushim Ha'ivrim.
What was the second part?
Ivrim is Israelites or Hebrews.
Oh, so Cushi Israelite. Dang, they gave you black Israelites over there.
And only when they write in certain articles, they would do it, in order to emphasize the point that they're trying to emphasize. A derogatory tone, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But I mean, Cushi was never, like, it's in the Bible.
That's right.
Yeah, so they interpret it as derogatory, but it's just the tribe.
Right. I don't know if Cushi's like that though. Now, how am I used as a derogatory term? I am Cushi. What the problem is?
Right.
All right, so we understand. At least is the beginning of understanding, and I definitely can say that one thing I don't stand on. I know everything when it comes to how things were started in the beginning of time. I mean, that's kind of hard to build a doctrine around. This is how things happen in the beginning of time. But here we are. We want to understand the end of time. How do you see, based upon what was taught to you, how the end of time looks? Because I can tell you a couple of things supposed to happen at the end of time. Jacob's trouble. So, all right. Now, also, we understand that some people have what is called a flee doctrine, where they flee into the wilderness. Now, which direction is the wilderness? I don't know. So I would like to understand that. Do y'all have a end of time? Because if you fleeing, you already there. Are we saying you're supposed to go there? What does that look like?
So in 1994, when our leader Ben Ami had spoke at the Mas Miriam in Chicago with the Nation of Islam, and he was speaking about the flood, right, as in the days of Noah, because we know that when we look at the end times, right, it says that as it was in the day of Noah, so shall it be in the end. As it was in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, so shall it be in the end. So you're looking at these things to understand what was the equation that actually brought about the end. Because people were looking at the floods, they were thinking that the floods were the determiner for the end times.
Okay.
But my leader said that the floods didn't have nothing to do with the end time. They just came to wipe everything away after the end.
I got you.
So
it was a cleanup.
It was a cleanup. So when they say that so shall it be in the days of Noah, for example, there was apathy to the word of God. It was people were given, marrying and being married and having children and and doing all of the regular things that we see today.
True.
And old man Noah And the people like him are like, look, y'all, something about to happen that hasn't happened before.
Right.
Because the reason why they were apathetic to him was because what he was talking about, they had never experienced it before. It had never rained based on what we understood it to be then. It had never rained like that. So when somebody was hearing it, they're like, man, this guy's crazy out his mind. And he was preaching, you know what I'm saying, for 40 years. And they didn't want to hear what this guy had to say. And he had to stay on course. Like, look, I'm sure that at one point he probably doubted himself, like, man, is it really going, like, you know, because I don't know.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It looked like everything is normal. Right. Everything is regular. You know what I'm saying? I'm the person that everybody see and they kind of mock me, like, man, this guy talking crazy or whatever. But when it started to rain, then people had started seeing that, yeah, the end of the world has come. I told you it was going to come. Now, this is about to wipe everything away. Listen to this. Once it got worse, once the rains got to a point where people were not able to bear them anymore, and they were coming and trying to get into the ark,
right?
And Noah was saying, look, I can't let you in. The gap had gotten too wide, and God has the key, right? But I was telling you this for the entire period of time. But then what they say to Noah, man, I got a baby, man. You're not going to do that to me. Like, I got, you know, like, you know, you really going to let these old women out here, you know, die like that? Like, you really that type of person that you see, you know, all of these helpless people, and you're not going to open up the ark and allow them to come in?
They ain't really mean it. They were sorry.
And they're like, man, look, man, I'm willing to do whatever I need to do now to be able to get on the other side with y'all. Nothing I can do about that. So when we look at the end times again, there's an equation that determines the end. And that equation, based on our leader Ben Ami, is the relationship that the people have to the word of God and to God, and their doings that are in direct contradiction to everything that God had decreed for us. When you see those things happening, you know that we are headed towards the end. Now, we know about all the other doctrines and things like that, but we have to simplify it for our people to be able to understand it in such a way where you won't be able to say, because when you look at the book of Ezekiel, and it says that if you didn't warn the people and they got taken out, then that's on you.
Right.
Because they didn't understand what's going on. But if you warn the people and they still do whatever and they get taken out, then the blood is on their hands.
Right.
So it's our responsibility not only to share the doctrine with them about what's going to happen, but it's to simplify it in such a way where they could be able to understand what it is that we're talking about. Because if you're telling them something and they don't understand what it is you're talking about, you're telling them, that's just as good as not saying nothing at all. So we need to share the information in such a way where it's simple, where it's understood, where it's clear. Then after that, whatever you decide to do with it, that's on you. I'm not taking any responsibility for that. But at least I know that I shared my portion of it with y'all. Now, do whatever you want to do, bro. I mean, I can't stop you. But when those rains start coming down, remember what it is I'm telling you right now. I ain't gonna be able to help you.